Join us on the program right now. Ed Worley, NRA ILA's California State Liaison. Ed, how you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing okay. Doing all right.
Doing all right. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's been a crazy day, but it's been a good day. But it's been a crazy day. So.
All right, so let's talk about the crazy but a good day. As I understand it, a piece of legislation we've talked about before on this program is making some progress. You explain this, Ed, because I'm going to get it all wrong here. But this deals with folks who are applying for a concealed carry license in California, right?
Yes. How it is now is you go into the agency, the sheriff's department, the police department, you get an application. Many of them tell you then to go out and do everything required. Go take your classes. Go do your psychological evaluations. Go get your $1 million liability policy. Go and pay thousands of dollars and do all this stuff. Then you turn in your application with all that, and then they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have good cause to get a permit."
Uh-huh.
In my opinion, they do that to try to price concealed carry permits out of the range of people who can afford to buy them. So what you have is, what we're doing in Senate Bill 610 is we're changing the sequencing and making it standard across the state. What Senate Bill 610, what Rod Wright is doing in his bill is very simple. Number one, you cannot require a CCW holder to get liability insurance.
Okay.
Some of the jurisdictions require you to get $1 million liability policy, which is a separate policy from our homeowners and everything else, in case you do something.
$1 million?
Yes, $1 million. So good luck getting one. It's about $1,300 if you can find one a year.
Oh, my gosh.
So it gets rid of that. The other thing it does is says what the sequence is going to be now is you go into the agency, you get the initial application, you fill it out, and you give them your good cause, why you need a permit. Because that's a problem in California. Good cause is not defined in the code yet.
Yeah.
That's what we tried to do a couple of years ago. Then if the agency says, okay, Mr. Worley, we think you have good cause to get a permit, which is a primary approval of getting your permit, says, okay, we think you have a good reason to have a permit. Then you can go do all the classes and the psychological evaluation and all the little things they need you to do. And then when you've done all that, then you come back for your final interview, then to get your permit. So what it does is it standardizes that process for everybody in the state, and it makes the sequence the same.
Uh-huh.
Because in some urban jurisdictions, what they do is you go get your application, you fill it out, and they don't tell you whether you're going to get a permit or not, whether you even have a good cause. You go out and spend all this money, spend weeks putting all this together, going out and getting 3 character witnesses and all this other stuff they make you do, all these hoops to make you jump through. Then they come back and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have a good cause."
Yeah.
So we're going to skip all this other stuff and make them make a decision right in the beginning.
Well, that's good. Now, where does the money go, Ed? If you pay all this stuff and fees to the state, and then they say no, you don't have good cause.
Well, you're out of luck.
Uh-huh.
You've just spent all the money, and you don't get it recovered. They're not going to reimburse you because you didn't have to do all that. They said if you want to apply for a permit, you have to do this. The other thing is that we're requiring them to give you a written reason for the denial. Not just saying, "Oh, you're not going to get one." They have to give you a specific reason why you're denied a permit.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So this is what we're doing. We're working with sheriffs. We've been modifying and changing the bill. We weren't sure it was going to go to committee yesterday, but Senator Rod Wright from Los Angeles, he decided to go ahead and put it through the committee yesterday, and it passed out of committee 4-1 out of the Senate Public Safety Committee. So now it goes to Senator Probst next. So we've gotten the bill out of the first policy committee. We're moving it forward.
Now, Senate Appropriations, does this have is this going to have a budgetary impact for California, Ed?
Well, it shouldn't, because there's no extra money the state has to pay because, again, in California, you go to your local jurisdiction, your local police chief or sheriff. So there's no cost to the state of California for changing the sequence. So theoretically, we shouldn't have any cost in appropriations. We shouldn't have a problem in appropriations.
Okay.
But being the legislature, you never know what fun and games are in store for a pro-gun bill as it travels through the process.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. All right, so Senator Probst is where this is headed, and that's where gun owners should be emailing folks. Is that right?
Emailing folks. You go to calenary.com, go to our ILA website, get the information. There's no date yet set for the bill to we were in the California Fish and Game Commission today. I was in the hearings all day today, and the Fish and Game Commission today voted to support the NRA CRPA right to hunt bill that we've introduced. So the Fish and Game Commission voted today to support our NRA legislation to preserve the right to hunt in California. So that's very good for us. It was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And that bill is going to be heard probably at the end of the month in the Assembly Committee hearing. We'll have the dates when it comes close to doing that.
All right. Well, Ed, thank you again, sir, for coming on the program this evening, and we'll look forward to talking to you again as the bills move forward.
Yes, and remember, next week on the 12th, we have the long gun registration bill is going to be up in Assembly Public Safety. The open carry ban is going to be up in Assembly Public Safety. And in the Senate Public Safety Committee, there's going to be a bill that Senator DeLeon we talked about, who's trying to fix his handgun registration law that we got overturned in the Parker decision. So next Tuesday, there's going to be 3 bills up in committee, all anti-gun bills. People need to write, email, and call Assembly and Senate Public Safety on those bills.
All right. Well, let's just plan on, Ed, I know it'll be a long day for you, but would love to have you on next Tuesday night if possible.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you then.
All right. Thank you, sir. Ed Worley, NRA ILA's California State Liaison, joining us here on Cam and Company.